All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are setting a really aggressive stage for Yasser Sanusi's upcoming masterclass on skill development. And to do that, we are completely dismantling the whole idea of passive learning. Seriously, forget everything you've ever been told about just sitting back, taking notes, and passively absorbing information. We're shifting gears today. We're moving to a highly proactive, modern approach to mastering the actual hard skills that matter in today's, frankly, ruthless market.
Okay, let's dive right into this. This is about you becoming dangerous with knowledge. I absolutely love that framing. Acquiring hard skills today, it's not about hand-holding. It is definitely not about someone guiding you step by step through some perfectly curated, comfortable syllabus. It's about equipping yourself with the raw ability to figure things out independently, to learn rapidly and effectively so you can actually execute when the pressure is on. To give you a sense of what this looks like in the real world, picture this. It's July 2025. A 300-level economics student gets this super high-pressure email from their team. Hey, we need someone to build a 3-statement financial model for a project. Can you have it done by Friday? Now, here's the catch. He had never formally learned Excel financial modeling. Zero formal certification, nothing. But instead of panicking or making excuses, he just put his head down. He spent 12 hours straight watching YouTube tutorials, building the model alongside the videos, and troubleshooting his own bugs. And guess what? By Friday, he submitted a totally polished model that absolutely floored the entire team. He completely bypassed the formal system and just delivered results. That is being dangerous with knowledge.
So, Section 1, the passive learning trap. We really need to stop just watching.
Now, what's really interesting about this is why that intern succeeded. He succeeded because he avoided a massive pitfall. And here's a blunt reality check for us all. Literally, nobody is going to spoon-feed you the skills you need to survive out there. Most people fail at learning because they honestly don't have a strategy. They just watch. They sit back and watch endless tutorial videos. But watching does not equal learning. They enroll in, 10 different courses at once and finish exactly 0 of them. Or worse, they quit the absolute second it gets hard because they were expecting the whole process to be easy. If you don't build projects, you've got nothing to show employers. Theory is completely useless without proof. Let's contrast this, all right? We've got the flawed, passive mindset on one side and the aggressive, winning strategy on the other. The passive trap is sitting there watching 100 hours of tutorials. Your brain feels super full, sure, but your hands haven't actually touched a single line of code or a single spreadsheet cell. The aggressive solution? You watch for maybe 10 hours, and then you build for 30 hours. Building is where the actual magic happens. You can't just run around collecting certificates. You have to build real-world projects to cement that knowledge and actually prove your competence. Moving on to Section 2, your elite digital university, learning anything, anywhere. So, making this leap requires a massive paradigm shift, and this really sets up Yasser's entire framework for the masterclass. We have to stop looking at traditional institutions as our only path to mastery. If you use it correctly, your humble internet browser is actually the most exclusive elite university campus in the world. Let's look at the actual data. Get this. In 2026, YouTube actually overtook Google as the #1 search engine specifically for how-to content. Why? Well, it caters to visual and auditory learning, which helps your brain retain about 75% more information. Plus, you can control the speed, you get real-time current content instead of some 10-year-old textbook, and you get dozens of different perspectives on the exact same problem. And the best part? It's all absolutely free. It is a massive competitive advantage just hiding in plain sight. But having the biggest university in the world at your fingertips isn't enough if you don't know how to walk the halls. So I want to challenge you directly right now. Think about it. When you get stuck on a really tough problem, what is your immediate reflex? Do you just throw your hands up and ask a friend? Do you panic? Understanding your default problem-solving reflex is step 1 to rewiring it with a truly elite self-taught methodology. And this brilliantly illustrates the next step. Google is your second teacher, but only if you actually speak its language. Listen to this. The skill of knowing exactly what to search is often more important than the technical skill itself. No joke. You can't just type in generic stuff like how to use Excel or help me code. You have to be incredibly specific. If you get an error, you search that exact phrase. You type how to fix #NAME error in Excel VLOOKUP, or you copy and paste your exact Python indexed error right into the search bar. Learning how to diagnose your own errors, that is the real superpower that keeps you moving forward when everyone else gets stuck. All right, Section 3, the ultimate practice formula. We call this the 20-30-30-20 rule.
So now that we know where to learn and exactly how to search, we need to talk about execution. These are the specific mechanics you're going to need to apply during this year's session. And this right here, this is the holy grail, the 20-30-30-20 practice formula. It goes like this. Only 20% of your time should actually be spent watching tutorials. Then 30% is spent following along, mirroring exactly what the instructor is doing. But here is the absolute non-negotiable secret to achieving real competence. You have to dedicate another 30% of your time to actively struggling with problems completely without the tutorial. Just you and the problem. Finally, that last 20% is for building something totally original using your new skill. That 30% struggle phase, that is literally where your brain is wiring the new skill into place. Let's see how this builds into a precise, repeatable 6-step loop for video learning. First, you search strategically. Then, you watch with a notebook, actively pausing the video. Step 3, you code or build along. And then step 4, this is absolutely crucial. Stop and redo. Close the video, minimize the window, and try to recreate what you just saw entirely from memory. No peeking allowed. When you inevitably break something, you move to step 5, which is finding and fixing your own mistakes by searching for that specific error. And finally, step 6, you build your own original project. Section 4, building career-ready skills. Taking it from theory to actually being employable. So, what does this aggressive mindset actually look like when you translate it into concrete, hireable skills? Well, self-teaching has to be highly structured, right? Otherwise, you're just going to drift aimlessly. For example, a 6-month master roadmap to becoming job-ready in Python looks exactly like this. Month 1, completely dedicated to the basics and a super simple project like building a calculator. Month 2, you scale it up to data analysis using real-world datasets. Month 3 is a milestone. You build a real script that solves an actual problem. Maybe you automate some annoying task in your daily life. And then months 4 through 6, that's your deep specialization phase, things like machine learning or web development. It's highly deliberate, it's focused, and most importantly, it's totally project-driven. Now, to execute a timeline like that, you need to navigate the 2026 online learning ecosystem efficiently. You got to know exactly where to deploy your budget. For 100% free foundational learning, you hit Khan Academy and YouTube, no question. When you need specific, highly practical skills, platforms like Udemy or DataCamp are perfect, usually for under $50. And then if you specifically need professional credentials, say to get past some rigid HR filters, that's when you invest that $30 to $200 in platforms like Coursera or LinkedIn Learning. Be strategic with your cash. All right, Section 5, your action plan. This starts this week. We've covered the mindset, we've broken down the formulas, and we've mapped the platforms. As we get closer to handing things off to Yasir Sanusi's session, it's time to ramp up the intensity. Consider this your personal call to arms. Here are your immediate 5-step marching orders for this week. 1. Choose one skill to learn. Seriously, don't spread yourself thin. Focus. 2. Enroll in one course. 3. Open the calendar app on your phone right now and block out just 5 hours a week. 4. Find 2 tutorial channels so you get different perspectives. And 5. Plan your first project to prove you actually learned it. You don't need to grind 10 hours a day, just 5.5 consistent hours a week. That changes absolutely everything in a matter of months. So, the crucial point is this. We are living in a results-based economy now. Formal certificates, they fade. Your degree really only tells employers what you were taught in a classroom, probably years ago. But your hard, proven skills, your portfolio, your messy, real-world projects, your ability to just sit down and execute, that tells them what you can actually do today. Make no mistake, skills are the ultimate currency. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought as you gear up for Yasir's masterclass. In 2026, the person who wins is not the smartest person in the room. It's just not. It is the person who learns the fastest. Technology is literally shifting underneath our feet every 6 months. Your degree is not going to update itself. So the only true competitive advantage you have left is your ability to aggressively learn, adapt, and build. So ask yourself, is your current learning speed fast enough to survive the future? Keep that in the back of your mind, get out there, and start learning something new this week.